Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Dishonored. We are done the main game, but of course there are two DLC expansions that I promised we would get back to. In release order, they are the Brigmore Witches and the Knife of Dunwall. But the Knife of Dunwall chronologically takes place first, so that'll be the one that we start with.
One more job shouldn't have mattered. I'd killed nobles before. You could float a whaling ship on the high-born blood I've spilled. Another noble steps in to replace the last one. All equally corrupt. Why should an Empress be different? But she was. I watched her bodyguard's face as they took him away. Dead eyes. I knew I'd pay for this one. Maybe I deserved to. A storm was coming that would shake apart everything I'd built.
No! Get away from her! Corvo! Mommy!
So for this one, we are going to be playing as Dowd. He's pretty similar abilities to Corvo. He starts with a little bit more, and gets his powers at an accelerated pace because this is not nearly as long as the main game, but also has a little less room to flex overall, and a few less tools in his belt. We of course start with our blink right off the bat. I think they changed some of the visual indicators, like they made them easier to see for Dowd, of where you're going to blink to. It seems like a deeper color. Also, his blink seems faster. Might just be me though.
Dowd, my old friend. It's been a long while, but you've got my interest again. How the years pass and the bodies fall. Did you know that there are only 8 like you in the world, bearing my mark? I'm here because you're right. The Empress was different. This time, you can't just fade away into the shadows. There will be consequences. Your story is close to ending, and even you can't escape it. But what ending will you make for yourself? I'm here to give you one last gift, Dowd. It's a mystery. One that starts with a name. Delilah.
For 6 months, the city writhed and changed. For 6 months, I tried to forget what I'd done to the Empress and her little girl. But there was no forgetting. I needed to find my next move. But all I had was that name. Delilah. Who was she? A threat? Or an ally? Word came from my second-in-command, Billy Lurk. In a house built on secrets. Lurk was especially good at uncovering them. There was a ship called the Delilah that hunted whales for Bundry Rothwild. A former deckhand who'd made good. Now he owned a slaughterhouse, and he ran his workers like a prison gang. A ship named Delilah. It could be a coincidence, but it's not. In Dunwall, things are always tangled up like a bag of snakes.
Oh, yeah, the favors. They're new purchasables per mission, and they're really like the perfect flavor for Dowd. Dowd or Slackjaw if you could play as him. So we're going to go over to that right away. This one will bribe a worker to discount a security system. We're going to get all of them. This one gets us a rune, and this one gets us a safe code. That'll just be scrawled on a wall somewhere. Then upgrades, we're gonna save the consumables for last, whatever we have left over. Yeah, we'll get a couple of spiritual remedies. And sleep darts. Just with whatever money is left over. The favors, though, are so useful, and they're really just so good for down. Again, flavor-wise, they fit him really well. They rely on his network and his connections. Instead of the heart, since we don't have that, we have Void Gaze, which is just kind of dark vision, but it also shows us bone charms and runes. I don't... it feels a little bit annoying to have to activate that and use mana, and then deactivate it when you're done in that kind of detective vision, but
You're here. I got bored, so I started without you. Turns out we're here on the perfect day. There's a strike at the plant, and it's no wonder. Rothwild runs this place like a prison. The stupid workers can't even get in without a time card. When the strike started, the butchers confiscated all the cards they could find. They've given the City Watch free rein to use force. If you ever wondered why I wanted out of the slums, here's your answer. There'll be other ways in, I'm sure of it. You don't mind if I tag along, right? Just to keep an old man safe. One last thing. I found something for you. I know you collect these. I'll be on the rooftops till you need me.
That first one is a freebie. And we can actually see a whale carcass from here. We're going to see another one up close later in the mission. So, by the way, Billy Lurk, remember her. She eventually becomes really important.
Try and get past me, and I'll see you swinging from a meat hook.
Go home, mister. Orders are to confiscate those cards, no exceptions.
I hope you die weeping, all of you. I hope the plague gets you.
So they take a tough, aggressive stance against striking. This mission feels immediately so much more important and more meta than a lot of the stuff in the main game. Even though there's a lot of that class strife depicted in the base game, this is much more in your face about it, right away too. And in depicting the authoritarianism of things like outlawing collective bargaining and strike breakers. And this being a game featuring that content is really refreshing, especially as of late when reporting on the industry is getting a lot better, and it's giving us a clearer picture of just how insane the crunch that goes on in the games industry is. And now that unionizing is a serious conversation that's been picking up steam. This DLC, I should say, feels more important in 2019 than it did when it came out years ago. It feels like since then, progress has been made in exposing some of the terrible conditions of the industry and taking some measures against them. Okay, we have a bone charm nearby. Not too concerned about that. There is one more rune in this part of the level, but it's right near where we're going to go deeper into the slaughterhouse. And that's, like, in and of itself, it's really on the nose. You can definitely read some meta text into this taking place in a slaughterhouse and the strike and the conditions therein. The timeline for this mission, by the way, is just after Corvo escapes from Coldridge. Gonna make our way along here to the scaffolding. I think there's usually a guard out there.
Attention. Under plague conditions, failure to report for work at industry deemed vital to state interests has been declared treasonous by the Lord Regent.
The coercion of labor. Oh, I think this steps up so good.
They used to tell stories about a woman in the slums who did work like this. Granny Rags. They said she was 100 years old.
Cool. So everything from before is in place, aside from the favors, which are new for Dowd. Ah, it's a nice leap. We can get up on the rooftops from here. So we have, you know, chaos, we have side objectives, non-lethal completion criteria for the missions. They do give you some unique enemies, some new ones, and tasks. They tell a tighter story. There's some really cool bits of level design in here, too. I don't think they skimped on either DLC, and they're like $3 a piece on sale right now. Gotta get back here and over to where we were. Just a floor down. There we go. Collective bargaining.
In any industry deemed vital to the state is a capital offense. These include metallurgy, whale collection, refinement, security services, and selected legal and clerical specializations. Consult the city barrister for clarification and enforcement.
Yeah, anything important, the state is going to come down and trample on you if you try to unionize for better conditions, better pay, etc. The violence of the state. Hey. Okay, and that code I think was 121. I believe it is randomized, but there are alternative means to figure the combination out if you didn't pay for the favor. But there's a really good reason why you would want to open this no matter what. And it's because you get a time card in here, one of the ones they confiscated from the striking workers. And it's so we can advance on into the slaughterhouse proper. That rune is on our way. Almost. It's just a little bit away from the main objective now. But I have a pretty good idea of where it is now. So there are a lot of new arc pylons in the ground. And then also something new that we'll be introduced to soon. From Sokolov.
This is public.
Oh, I jumped the gun. I didn't even need to do that.
The assassin, one-time royal protector, has escaped.
Oh, I thought they.
And is at large within the city.
This is a new boy.
Must be reported to the city watch.
Let's give this another go, without being so antsy on the trigger. Blink across that. Then who is actually in here? I'm glad I didn't just drop down to choke that guy out because another one came in right away.
Arc mines. The latest thing from Sokolov's twisted mind. We're the first ones to get them.
How do they work?
Well, obviously you... Actually, I'm not sure.
Let's lay a few out. Stryker's gotta hit one sooner or later.
So they are going to test these lethal arc mines from Sokolov on the Strikers. We're going to get access to these in just a second. I don't think anyone's coming back in for now. So, it'll deliver a powerful electrical charge that reduces anyone nearby to ash. And an amplifier for a new tool. Alright, so that second floor scaffolding is where we are heading up to for this rune. Let's first... We don't nearly have enough runes yet to upgrade Blink to level 2, but we do have enough for the 1 point agility. Oh yeah, and that works a little bit differently from Corvo's, which feels like a double jump, whereas this is just one smooth high jump. Also, the Blink works a little bit differently as well. Where there is also a little time-stopping component to it.
The slaughterhouse butchers are locking workers in the pump control station by the docks. If you could get in there, I bet the workers would tell you just about anything you wanted to know.
Good to know. If we were going to pursue that. Okay, so we have our rune for this section. And then just down below us is where we can use the punch card, punch in, and get access to the factory. Memo from Sokolov. And into the slaughterhouse we go! Jesus.
Rothwild's got a stubborn reputation. I doubt asking nicely is going to work. We'll have to find a more persuasive means of getting what you want out of him. He's probably close to his office. We should start there.
We're going to end it in a second, but we're going to show a cool new enemy off and what he's all about. So he's one of those standard, glowy bits on his back that explode enemies. But when he's facing you down... Jesus Christ. And now we die. So we can reset. That's going to do it for now, everyone. Thank you all for watching. We'll finish this one up next time. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, all that other bullshit.